Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Friday, May 1, 2026. We're in to cover what it's getting pretty dicey over there, the Harvey Weinstein trial, in which victim Jessica Mann yesterday on cross was confronted with things she wrote just after the alleged incident, and they kind of undermined the story. Then again, she was just writing. She said some of them were blogs. Then she said that she felt spacey. I feel that the prosecutor should have prepared her better. That's my view. Actually, I'm thinking of putting out, probably on Google Play, a book tentatively called Harvey Weinstein's Last Stand. Okay, then. In a bigger world, Live Nation. We're coming up on a hearing about the Tunney Act, but I will say that yesterday, the Department of Justice, the U.S. Department of Justice, hauled off and denied in full, on an expedited basis, our FOIA request. It's their claim that they don't have to provide a single document about Live Nation, not about why they settled when they did, which is, of course, of much interest. It seems that the pressure went all the way to the top, and I mean outside the DOJ, and even just complaints that they've received, even just basic information. I think it's a real thumbing of the nose at the Freedom of Information Act, which is why I tweeted a copy of their denial with the headline, pro bono. I would think, and I tagged some people too, I would think that some pro bono individuals interested in both FOIA, antitrust, or even just politics would want to take up this cause. And the clock is ticking, but judicial review, it is ripe for judicial review. Now, speaking of this is sort of more, we've taken our unsealing. In Live Nation, we got things unsealed. Also in Greenwood, in the Second Circuit. So we've been looking into things, and people send us things too. This is a call for sealing outrages that we can oppose. DC, we're already working on the seizure of the ships. But there's more. In the Northern District of Illinois, that's to say Chicago mostly, there's other cities. In the Northern District of Illinois, we've come across two dockets in front of two magistrate judges, one of whom is named Vargas, which are entirely sealed. One was filed in 2024, has about 12 filings, and every single one is sealed. What is it? We wrote to the judge. We'll see. We'll see how this works. Now, in the District of the Virgin Islands, yes, it's part of the U.S. federal court system, there are a series of cases that are not CR, criminal, not CV, civil, not MC, miscellaneous, not MJ, magistrate, but PO. What is it? Well, the court there says, don't write to the judges, write to the clerk of court. So we did, Miss Lake. And we're waiting for an answer, because what are these cases? They go back to 2018. They're dockets with no documents. We also wrote a story, so you can find that on Inner City Press. Okay, we've turned the corner. It's time to go financial, but we're also legal in this instance. Yesterday we wrote a story about JPMorgan Chase being sued by their former, I don't know if it's a branch manager or the person that opened and closed the branch. Maybe that's above, probably it's below the branch manager. And for that reason, the person is saying, you violated the Fair Labor Standards Act, FSLA, as well as New York state law by not paying overtime, by not paying for things like uniform and cell phone use. It's a banger, and we wrote about it, and we'll see what Jamie Dimon has to say about a branch worker in the 600 block of Broadway. It's around Houston Street, to my knowledge, working 65 hours a week and not getting overtime. I don't know. He's talking a lot about AI and a lot of things. Okay, let's turn to the UN. And the UN and the U.S. mission to the UN. Now, we've written a lot about South Sudan, about the UN wasting money there on an empty plane because they didn't coordinate with the government, so they couldn't fly the Nepalese peacekeepers out. But Mike Waltz and company say that they've fought hard on an UNMISS resolution to get ticking out the gender language, and they worked a lot around the edges, but what they haven't done is directly confronted the absolute waste and corruption of that mission. That's the kind of thing I think people thought that their talk was supposed to be about, not changing a few words in a resolution. Speaking of which, Jeff Bartos, their ambassador for reform, he has a 10-tweet, is that a tweet storm? I don't know. I do 10 tweets in a morning or in an hour. But about the Committee on Information, which oversees the UN Department of Global Communications, which bans inner city press and doesn't even answer letters from Quinn Emanuel and Dwayne Morris, etc. He wants to reform the Committee on Information, make sure that their resolutions are not so verbose. What about making sure they don't censor U.S.-based media? I don't know. So these are the questions that we ask. If this is the last vlog of the week, have a good weekend.